Today I have to share some bad news, but it's news that could have been much, much worse. And then obviously you will also hear the overall inspiration from me despite it all. Last night, 4 of our holy IDF soldiers were killed by a deadly Hezbollah drone attack. These were young men, barely 19 years old. Sergeant Omri Tamari from Askeret Batya, Sergeant Yosef Haib from Tuba Zangajaria, he's an Arab Israeli, Sergeant Yoav Agmon from Binyamina, and Sergeant Alon Amitai from Amrot Naftali. They were all infantry soldiers in training, serving in the Golani Brigade, an elite infantry unit that I served in as a young recruit. Many more were injured, and we need to pray for the recovery of all the injured. Now, why could have this been much worse? Because Hezbollah had plans to send hundreds of bomb drones every day attacking Israel. But due to our successful IDF offensive in Lebanon, including the miraculous James Bond operations, these deadly bomb drones happen infrequently. With all the sadness of this tragic drone strike that killed those 4, we can't lose the overall perspective of our situation in this war, which is much, much better than it was feared to be. And as I keep on explaining, this is an existential war against an enemy that is pure evil, a war with ups and downs, and with losses to our side as well. No question about it, even if things are going well and you hear the positive updates from me. But let me be clear, we are winning in Gaza. We are winning in Lebanon. We are winning in Syria. We are winning in Yemen. We are winning in Iraq. We still have what to do to win against Iran by taking out their nuclear facilities. But overall, the Jewish state of Israel today, with God above, are doing an unbelievable job in winning this 7-front war. However, we must not forget that Iran has spent decades preparing for this very moment. They still have thousands of rockets and drones ready to attack us. So we must remain vigilant. And we all must pray for our holy IDF soldiers who are the defenders of the Jewish state of Israel on the front lines, protecting not just Israel, but the whole freedom-loving world. And I have 2 sons in units up in Lebanon right now. And remember this, we will not stop until we achieve total victory. And we need your help to share that information as well. Now let me tell you something personal. 30 years back in 1994, I served as an IDF soldier in southern Lebanon when I was in Golani. It's a beautiful area, part of our Jewish ancestral homeland, as southern Lebanon were lands given to the tribes of Asher and Naphtali. And the state of Israel should have never pulled out of the security zone in southern Lebanon in 2000, when former Prime Minister Ehud Barak literally pulled out the IDF troops in the middle of the night, which then allowed Hezbollah to take over southern Lebanon and turn it into an Iranian terror state that we are now trying to dismantle and destroy today. So Israel, with our holy IDF soldiers, are returning to southern Lebanon, and this time, if it's up to me, for good. We are liberating it again, and this time Israel should and must stay in southern Lebanon and never leave. Today, as I've said before, I have 2 sons in units fighting in Lebanon. One literally was just in the same area that I served in 30 years ago. These beautiful mountains in southern Lebanon. But I want people to really understand, this isn't just the 3rd Lebanon war. This isn't even a war against Iran. This is an existential war for the very survival of Israel. It is the 76th year of the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel's war of independence that our Arab Muslim enemies launched against us back in 1948 and have continued to use terror and other wars since. That was a war of independence that has never ended. We're still fighting it today. Our enemies remind us every day what they're really fighting for. They're not fighting to liberate Gaza, which was totally under Hamas control, or to liberate Judea and Samaria, where the Palestinian Authority rules over 99% of all the Arabs who live there, and they are not even fighting to create a Palestinian state. No. They are very clear about why they're fighting us. To those willing to actually listen to what they say to each other in Arabic, not English. Listen to what they say in Arabic and go to palwatch.org and memory.org for those videos. They are fighting to destroy the entire Jewish state of Israel with their focus on the Temple Mount and to kill all Jews or forcefully convert us. Let me share with you a story I recently heard. a non-religious IDF soldier returned from Gaza. The first thing he did, he hung up a picture of the Temple Mount in his bedroom. His mother was confused, and she asked him, "Why a picture of the Temple Mount? We are not religious. You never cared about the Temple Mount." So her son's answer to his mother, "In Gaza, in every single home I entered, I saw a picture of the Temple Mount right next to weapons and rocket launchers." He understood that this is what drives the Arab Muslims to kill us, their religious focus on the Temple Mount and Jerusalem and getting rid of the Jews. And now he understands why, for the Jews, the Temple Mount is supposed to be so important. And that's why he put up a picture of the Temple Mount on his wall, to finally internalize that and act upon it. That's what this war is about. It's about them fighting for the Temple Mount. It's about them fighting to get rid of our Jewish homeland. It's about the Islamic jihadist motivation to destroy us, a motivation which has existed for centuries, which the Arab Muslims in our ancestral homeland acted upon even back in the early 20th century with the pogroms that massacred innocent Jews in their homes back in the years 1929 and 1936, years before Israel was even established, years before we liberated Judea and Samaria and Gaza in 1967, and settlements, etc., etc. Their motivation to kill us is religious, and they will never give up on that motivation. Even after we win this war, it will still remain their motivation. The only way we can end this war today is with a total victory to deter them from trying to kill us in the future, by never leaving Gaza and by never leaving southern Lebanon ever again. Those are both ancestral Jewish lands. And we must resettle them permanently, one, because they're ours, and two, to punish them. That's how we win. That's how we create true deterrence. We defeat our enemies. We liberate those lands from which they attacked us from. We make sure that all those Arab Muslims who support killing Jews and destroying Israel in those areas go elsewhere and are no longer there. And we resettle those areas with Jewish communities. Because while our enemies don't care about losing their lives or losing the lives of their families or children, who they literally use as human shields, they sacrifice their own men, women, children, parents, grandparents. They care deeply about losing their land. That's the only way to instill the kind of respect and fear in them that will keep them from attacking us again, making them lose their land and putting it under Israeli sovereignty. That is total victory in Gaza and southern Lebanon. In terms of Iran, we must end the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear threat. Whether it happens now or not, because it depends upon the support of the Biden administration and what they're pressuring us and punishing us, etc. But it has to happen. And not just to protect Israel, but to protect the whole freedom-loving world, including America, because the Iranian nuclear threat will threaten the whole freedom-loving world. Everyone strengthen your belief in the one above, who is looking after us. And pray, pray, and pray more. Yes, our prayers make a difference. It doesn't make a difference what you say, whether it's from a book or you're just making it up. But as long as you have that conversation with God, yes, He is listening. The question is, are you talking to Him? So I try to talk to Him every day, whether from the book or whether on my own, just walking down the street. Have that relationship. Talk to Him. Sometimes He answers yes, sometimes He answers no, just like a parent. But it's always in our best interest, even if we do not understand, and we're never going to understand. In the meantime, keep on supporting the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel. We are the voice of justice in this world, the voice of morality, the voice of what's right, the voice and face of God above in this physical world we live in. Stand up strong and support the Jewish state of Israel. We're going to win this, folks, with the ups and downs. Am Yisrael Chai. If you are not yet a subscriber to our daily Pulse of Israel videos, where you get the belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect truth about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, what are you waiting for? Go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. Even if you follow us on social media, because social media highly censors us and shadow bans us, so you're not always going to see what we're posting every single day. If you sign up at pulseofisrael.com, you will receive the daily video newsletter. And if you enjoy our videos and you think that they're important for more people to see, we're a donor-based operation. Every once in a while, click on the donate button on pulseofisrael.com to support our work and help us make more videos to be seen by many more people. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.